Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast, your go-to source for all things agriculture. Each week, we bring you expert insights, market trends, and real stories from the field. Whether you're a seasoned producer or joining us for the first time, there is something here for you. So, grab a coffee and let's dive into the business of agriculture from the ground up. Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast. Joining us today is our CEO, Mike Corbus. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Mandy.
Harvest is past and the holidays are past, and we've just been through a polar vortex the last few days, so it seems like this is a great time to talk about our winter plans.
It is. Between harvests, it seems like it feels like a very short window to recover, regroup, and prepare for the next season. So with that in mind, we have our normal protocol that we've always done to make sure things are in shape for the next coming season. But this year we decided we were going to make an extra aggressive push in three main areas for this winter and spring, and that is repair, maintenance, and training.
We go hard on our equipment all year long.
We do, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about repairs.
Sure. So as usual, things tend to break down after they've been used hard, and harvest is that time. So what we're doing this time is we actually essentially put a team together that goes around and visits every single site. And this can take most or all of the winter and spring season. We'll see how it goes. But basically to conduct an audit, both to communicate with the manager and employees there and see what they've identified as issues, but also another set of eyes to come in and see, areas that we need to work on. Then it could be a week or it could be 2 weeks or longer at each location, depending on what that list is. But then bringing in, of course, our millwright, and also we have a lot of employees that have a big key role in the repair process as well, and getting everything put back together and ready to go.
There's also maintenance to be done at this time of year while we're kind of in our slower time of year.
Yes, maintenance is an obvious requirement, and regular maintenance goes a long ways towards preventing issues and prolonging the life of our equipment and facilities. So our maintenance program coincides with the repair schedule, meaning that as the team goes around, they basically collaborate with the staff there to determine what is the maintenance schedule. Are there any gaps in that? Do we need to add things to it? Either issues identified or maybe new equipment, things like that, to make sure everyone there is trained, for the maintenance. And over the course of a year, you will inevitably end up with some new staff at locations. So it's very important for us to make sure that they're all well trained and understand what that routine is.
And the most exciting thing that you mentioned is training.
Yeah, so again, I thought this was pretty neat. We were utilizing the west portion of our Lyons facility, and we basically took that building there and created what is a maintenance and repair training facility. So we've got mock-ups, I really don't know a better way to put this, of some training scenarios to maintain equipment and some decent repairs as well. So at that location in particular, we will train new hires, but we'll also occasionally be able to bring back tenured staff as well to go over things. They might be new types of training procedures or maybe just refreshers. So some of the things that get covered there: bearing replacement, gearbox maintenance and repair, things like tracking leg belts, and just a myriad of other types of things as well. So our millwright and staff work together to provide that training. It's a great environment for them to get hands-on and ask questions and also see demonstrations. We also use that facility for some of the onboarding with new employees so that they learn about the co-op system if they weren't familiar with that. They learn about our co-op in specifics, what's expected, just a lot of things that have to do with professional development.
Next exciting thing
Sure.
is that we've made an investment in a platform. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this was really neat. So we came across this and did some demonstrations with it and decided this was a great tool for us here at Central Prairie Co-op. So it's an online platform, and it has currently over 400 different training modules. It was a no-brainer when it comes to bang for buck as an investment in our employees, because we want to be able to continue to do that. We don't really ever want to be to where we feel like we don't have any more to learn. There's always something else. So that's a big part of our culture. And with this tool, I'll just give you some examples. And there, like I said, there's over 400 things, but management and leadership training for entry level. If you're a first-time manager, as part of that process, if we're able to promote somebody, it addresses a lot of the concerns there that the new manager may have. Mid-level and even the senior level staff, like I said, there's always more to learn. Customer service is a big one. Communication, professional development, office tools like Excel, PowerPoint, Canva, and all the others that are out there. Project management is another one. Something that's very important is business acumen and sustainability, and even cybersecurity. So that's just the tip of the iceberg, but it's the kind of thing that fits well with everybody's schedule, because they can do it as they have time, or we can set a schedule, whichever works best, and determine some training modules and bundle things to target specific areas. So very, very happy that's available, and we're glad to have that on board with us.
Awesome. I'm really excited about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in January, and next month is our end of our fiscal year. And so we're focused a bit on finances and what our year has looked like.
We are, and I'm very happy to report that Central Prairie Co-op is financially strong. So let me talk about that for a minute. We all know we've gone through some very tough years and drought and changes in markets, et cetera. Been quite a challenge, but we've made a pretty good turnaround here. So I would say this, we still have a couple of months. So when we do a month end, for example, we're usually talking about the prior month. So even our fiscal year ends February 28th, but you're going to do the final audit. You don't really know the tail of the tape, so to speak, until really the end of March, basically. That said, the last quarter is usually a tough quarter for us, because you tend to have more money going out than coming in. So things could change, but I do want to tell everyone, and I'm very happy to report, that we are currently operating at a profit, both net and local, which again is a major turnaround from last year. So a number of things went into that. Every single department has performed well. I'm very, very happy with that. We have made some changes. I'm sure the membership is aware we've done some things that are positioning us for success in the future. So a good example would be the ground pile. That enabled us to make some sales on a timing that was good for us, not when we had to. It also, of course, provided some speed, and we hope some more convenience for our producers. But steps like that, the CRI that I've talked about before, that we're probably going to start to see more impact in 2027, just the timing of inventory levels, and frankly, when we got this thing up and running, that starts to come into play as well. The staff has been fantastic. Lots and lots of work. Very pleased to announce that. Like I said, I have to put out the disclaimer. We're not done yet, so, things could change, but so far, so good. I would close with this. It tells a lot about our attitude and what we're doing and moving forward as a co-op. I don't think our industry really has any need or place for a stagnant co-op. I don't care what business you're in, it never stays the same. Things might work well for a very long time as is, but there always will come a day when that gets changed. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to change it. And it really matters in how you react to that. It's really nice if you're proactive. So we're in the process of a little bit of both, and we're trying to be very proactive. We don't need another co-op that just maintains the status quo, or maybe very quietly refuses to address the pressures that face our farmers today. What I think the industry needs, and what we are committed to being, is a cooperative that's willing to think differently and act decisively. We do want to stand shoulder to shoulder with our members. We understand Sometimes the decisions we make may not be readily apparent as to why. I'll try to do my best to make sure we define that to the membership, but we understand our mission is to provide value. And so we're always going to work towards that. 30 years ago, there were about 200 Kansas farmer co-ops, a little bit more, I think. To some, 30 years might seem like a long time. You get old enough, it doesn't seem like it was very long ago.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. But, a combination of things, consolidation, but a lot of intense financial pressures, there's only 49 today. But I personally believe a lot of that is just because some co-ops were not set up for the future, things that are coming. So, we do believe that progress requires courage. And what I mean by that is it does take courage to make some of the tough changes. And they're not all tough. Depends on what we make of it, right? They just need to happen. Mm-hmm. So, and success is really only possible when we adapt and embrace change so we can move forward together. So that'd be my message is, as always, I think I've said this before, if we're doing something or we're not doing something and a member has a question about that, please feel free to reach out to me. Come in the office or call me, whatever the case may be. I'm always happy to talk about what we're doing and why. So I would extend that invitation out to everyone.
To all of you listening out there, thank you so much for joining. We thank you on behalf of your board of directors and the entire staff at Central Prairie Co-op. Be sure to tune in next week when we talk all things ag from the ground up.